Whew. This is our new member of the family. Meet Void.
Yeah, boy.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day, and if not, I hope today gets better. Things for me have been kind of iffy since I've uploaded my last video. Obviously, you met Void, and he is such a sweet baby angel, but unlike most sweet baby angels, he's been making a whole effort for the entire week to poop next to my roommate's door. I genuinely don't understand what that's about.
Yeah, boy.
And rightfully so. It's been causing a stress to not only just to my roommate, but to us as well, because we can't sit and watch him 24/7. So sometimes things happen out of our control, and yeah, mainly it's just been causing quite a bit of stress in the house, which gave me an idea for this video. In fact, how to stop pooping next to your roommate's door.
What?
I'm totally kidding. How to properly manage your stress in stressful situations. But to get to all seriousness, I wanted to make this video because I have been recently reminded that I have had to sometimes watch how I let my anger affect me, how I let my mouth run off when it shouldn't, and how I shouldn't let people affect me the way they should. And as always, I made 3 tips that, if anything, would help give you some proper insight on how to managing these stressful situations like it did myself. And these 3 tips are: number 1, remove yourself from the situation. Number 2, practice techniques. And number 3, talking with someone. So yeah, like in every video, let's just go ahead and break those down. And if you can find the secret Krabby Patty formula in my madness that might be able to help give you some insight in your day-to-day life, then I guess I succeeded. So starting off with number 1, remove yourself from the situation. As the tip clearly states, if you are sitting in a situation that is causing you stress, or even knowing that it could cause you stress, then it's time to head out. I know it's a lot easier said than done, like most things. You necessarily can't just walk away from every situation, but I do think you must make it known that you are uncomfortable within the situation. You know, an example, if you're at work and you're having a conversation with a coworker or even a boss, and it's a conversation that you find really unpleasant or makes you really uncomfortable, you have to say that. You have to let them know that this is making you uncomfortable and they need to stop. And if said person was to harass you going forth after that, then, well, that's why we have HR. That's human resources for anybody who may or may not know what that is. And if you don't, well, you will. You will. Removing yourself from the situation can also stop you from saying anything you shouldn't be saying or physically doing anything that you shouldn't be doing. Don't sit and waste your time arguing with somebody whose whole motive is trying to get you right where they want you to be. As soon as you start saying something to add fuel to the fire, or you, and worse, even start trying to throw hands with this person, then they won. That's it. Period. They've gotten something from you that they shouldn't have gotten from to begin with. Your peace of mind. And also, don't think for a second that walking away makes you a weak person. It's a lot more mature, honorable, and even respected if you just walk away from the situation. Doing this may add fuel to the fire to the other person, but you'll have what they don't: peace of mind. Peace of mind knowing that just by walking away, you made someone boil in their own fire, and they'll just eat themselves up over that while you just carry on with your day-to-day life. So remember, just walk away. Don't play into it. Now moving on to number 2, practicing techniques. There are many different types of stress releasing techniques that I think don't necessarily help cure your stress, but I think can definitely help manage your stress. Few of these techniques that I know of, usually are like breathing in certain rhythms, taking power naps to reset the mind, self-soothing methods as well. Most of them are something you habit from when you were like a little kid growing up. Like, I know some people who like rubbing their arms or rubbing the back of their neck, or, and they're called tweakers. No, but in all honesty, there are people I know who do this to kind of help soothe themselves in stressful situations. And some people it works great, and some people it doesn't. I can obviously say there's only so many different types. So, just do your research and see what works for you. And yeah, techniques I use and would recommend are usually like, listening to music to help reset my mood, or, even taking a moment to walk away and just breathing and realizing the situation at hand. I find that, listening to music really does help. However, granted, some people like to listen to music that matches their mood. So if they're angry, they like to listen to like heavy metal or something that, has that raw intensity. And that's great for certain settings. But if you're trying to calm down and relax, the idea is you really wanted to listen to something, more calming. So like something, like lo-fi, or my TV just keeps going into the ads. These fire pits aren't real. I hope you know that. But anyway, as I was trying to say, just find the music that will help deflect any negative energy that isn't adding on to it. So if you're angry, no heavy metal. Listen to jazz or something, just not country. Now, I am a realist, and I can't just tell you to sit here and find some sort of magical technique that's going to help you calm your stress, but I do urge you to research and practice this every day. Just like anything in life, you have to test out things once in a while to see if it's going to be able to fit in your day-to-day life. And I believe the more patience you have, you will find it, and the more practice you have, it will start to become a more good habit in everyday life. So yeah, basically, find and practice good techniques to help you with your stress. Now moving on to number 3, talking with someone. If you need to talk to anybody, man, I'm always here for you. Which is a common phrase that a lot of people say, but my question is, why isn't anyone talking then? Obviously, nobody wants to talk about their problems, but to let it fester and not try to find ways to work around it? I mean, I guess I'm just a weirdo, but you shouldn't keep what bothers you a secret. However, with that said, I don't think you should just go around and sharing all your problems and personal feelings to everyone around you. And that's because I do think there are certain people in your life that do have your best interest at heart and do really care about you, but then there are some people who will find a way to use that against you further down the road. Now, I'm not too overly cynical, but I do think it's very important to find a close friend, a family member, or matter of fact, a therapist who is really going to be able to help you and listen to your problems and not have any sort of bad type of future plans to use that against you. I would highly recommend seeing a therapist over anything, though. Just coming from my personal experience, there are a lot of things you can talk about with your friends and family that they would be willing to help you through, but talking to someone who is a licensed medical professional and that has studied the psychology of the human mind, these people can really help you understand where you're at mentally, and not only can they just do that, but they can help you find ways to work around it. They would be able to give you more proper techniques on how to handle certain stresses or certain coping techniques from traumas that I would be able to do in just one video. It really helped me tremendously when I was going to work on things about myself. Me and my therapist personally had conversations on, where I was at mentally, and maybe on how certain things that I did could have caused certain reactions from other people. And I mean, there's a whole thing I could go on talking about this, but I'm just saying there were so many things I learned about myself going through therapy that I can only highly recommend that to anybody. And I already know, I'm already hearing in my head people saying like, well, I'm not going to pay someone to pretend to care about my problems. And while it is true that you are paying them to talk about your problems, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't care. At the end of the day, I think the unfortunate truth that nobody wants to listen to is that this is a business. Just like going to a hospital, it is a business. They need money to keep these things functioning and running, and to keep themselves functioning and running. And with that said, therapists are people with problems too. Financial issues, maybe certain relationship issues. I mean, they're not like superheroes. They're people like you and me. They sympathize a lot with their clients, and obviously they can't take your problems home because they have to, deal with their own stuff too. But at the end of the day, they are human. And if you're really super worried about money, I mean, I can only talk from my experience, but my therapist was willing to help me out financially, understand how this stuff worked, and was able to help drop my bill a little bit so I was able to afford it financially. I mean, listen, when you're in there and they see you're talking, they just want to help you. And if that means they got to help you out a little bit financially by dropping the bill a bit, I mean, again, that's between you and your therapist's conversation, but they are willing to help you. That's my whole point. Also too, if you are looking into going into therapy, just know this: a therapist cannot cure all your problems. They're only there to really help you break any kind of bad patterns in your life or any type of traumas in your life that you still need to help cope through. That's what their job is there to do. They obviously cannot cure your mental health, but they're more than willing to work with you on creating steps to help make your life a little bit simpler to manage and coping through certain past traumas in your life, so that way you can actually have peace of mind in your life. So again, if you need to talk to someone, I highly would recommend you talk to a therapist. They do care, they really do, but it's a business at the end of the day. That's going to be all that I had for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I really hope this video was helpful to you. I really don't have any announcements as of right now, but I will keep all of you guys updated in my social media. We'll have the links down below. Those are good platforms to go to if you just want to have a one-on-one conversation, or if you even want to watch any of my shorts that I make of all my videos. And let me know down in the comments below how you guys handle your stress. I'm curious to hear about your guys' techniques, and hopefully it's something that I will be able to apply to my day-to-day life. Thank you again, and I'm out of here. Have a good one.